Hi, Nico. How are you?
Hi, I'm Nico. I'm good. How are you? It's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you. So to start, being in a Disney movie as a voice, I feel like has to kind of be like kind of discombobulating because especially like I'm a millennial, so I watched all these movies as a kid. But I feel like if I heard my own voice as a character, I would kind of just be like, nope. And so how was that for you to kind of get to see your voice come to life in a Disney movie, especially one like Wish that has such that legacy behind it?
It's wild. It's absolutely insane. It's bonkers. It's everything. Um, but at the same time, it's so invigorating. It's everything I've worked for finally coming to fruition, and it makes me so happy. It just I can't even put it to words. Like all of that work, and the way that the recording process is too, because it's a lot of storyboarding. It's a lot of
Mm.
them showing you kind of like pictures and then giving you your lines and being like, okay, here's the picture of the scene. And when you're reading your lines, it's like, okay, I can kind of see it in my head. And then when it happens, you're like, oh my God, it's real. Here I am. That's me. It was crazy going to see it with my mom, especially because she like was like like loud as heck in the theater. Like she like stood up like that's my baby. It's like, mom, please. I wouldn't be any better though.
I love it. Your mom's just like, everyone, I need you to know that is my baby.
Yeah,
Just FYI.
just
But
so
I
you know.
with this movie though, I do think it is so kind of, like all those little Easter eggs are so much fun to kind of look and unpack when you're watching it, especially if you do have that Disney lore and legacy kind of like in your mind already. When you were getting to like see those pictures come to life and do all that, how much of it were you like, how much of a Disney nerd were you before this? And how much did you kind of like start to try and pinpoint what they were pulling from and referencing and all that kind of stuff?
So I grew up on Disney. I was really huge on Disney growing up. I was super into like a lot of the princess movies, especially. Um I will say, as far as the Easter eggs are concerned, I'm still like, holy cow, like where that was there this whole time. They did such a good job like putting everything together
Mm.
and having it be so subtle but working in so well with the rest of everything that was happening, where the Easter eggs aren't really, they're not the forefront most of the time.
Mhm.
They're kind of there, and then when you know that they're there, you're like, oh my gosh, like it's crazy, but they fit so well. So I definitely was, I would say, as far as being a Disney nerd is concerned, I definitely would say I was there. I just, with the Easter eggs, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Did I see that? Was that for real? And then I would rewind it. I'd be like,
Yep, I was there.
what?
What is so interesting too is like so Hal is part of like the teen group, but you're not recording with other people. And so when you are, doing a voiceover performance that is part of a larger group, but you are solo when you're doing it, how is that recording process like to kind of like get your head around the idea of like, well, how's part of this bigger group of like people and like that all has to kind of play into the character at the same time as like just having that solitary moment for yourself.
Right, yeah. It definitely was a little difficult. My process is kind of, I'm really good at like kind of closing my eyes and visualizing a scene, which I think
Mhm.
really helps in regards to what I do. Um, as far as the recording process is concerned, usually people would read me in, which helps a lot. Especially when there's these scenes where it's like a lot of banter. There was so much banter between the teens, and I love it. But it'd kind of be like, "Oh, Gabo said this," and like they're saying this, and they're saying this, and then now it's your turn. And so they would kind of read me in, and it would really help to kind of visualize. Okay, like they're here, they're there, they're there, and then here I am, and now I'm speaking now.
Oh, I love it. And then did you ever get to actually meet the cast? Because I know there was no premiere because this was right before. So did you get to
Yeah.
actually meet anybody that you
I
ended up working
didn't.
with in this.
I'm so sad. I was so sad. I really hope that there is an opportunity for us to all meet or reconvene in the future. I definitely feel like there will be.
Mhm.
But no, we weren't able to meet this time around.
Oh no. Was there someone who you were like, yo, but I want to go and meet them? Like, can I just like go into where they're recording?
Ariana. Chris Pine? Hello? Hello? I was like, I'm on a movie with who? Me? Little me?
So just start tagging, well, not Chris Pine, he's not on social media, but just start tagging Ariana DeBose in
Like,
things. Be
hi.
like, we're technically in a movie. So hi.
I know we've never met, but like, so I kind of was in the movie with you. So we're like best friends now, right?
Yeah, just start posting pictures of like man ups of you and her together and being like, we're best friends. We just
We're
that.
besties.
She'll be like, what? But with a movie like this, there is, there's the songs, which I know like everyone kind of a Disney song is not an easy thing to decide on your favorite. But for
Yeah.
you being part of this movie, do you have a favorite song in Wish that you were just like, yeah, this is one of my new favorite Disney songs?
This wish goes crazy. It goes absolutely insane. I really, really love it. So much of the movie. So while we had access to like the scripts, it was only really like the recording process was so like bam, 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 bam.
Mm.
So we really kind of only focused on our scenes that we were in, at least on my end. Um, so so much of the movie came as like a whoa, and I kind of like that about it. I could have gone back and been like, oh well, I'll just read the script, but I wanted to kind of watch it all unfold when it was finished. um so we got to hear the soundtrack, and This Wish is definitely like one of my top Disney songs now. Also, knowing what I know now, not to toot my own horn because I know I'm on that song, but that's but I really, really like it. Like the writing for the movie was genuinely so good. And that song in particular was just like, I'm trying to think of the word. Hype is the only word I can think of
It's
to describe it. It was just like it really felt like we're starting a revolution,
mm-hmm.
and the way that it was produced and the way it was composed to like embody that feeling was just so well done. It's definitely, aside from me being in it, it's really cool, I think.
When since you got to kind of, for yourself go into it with just like your scenes in your mind, what was your favorite part getting to see all of Wish come together?
My favorite part, um, probably seeing like I remember when Hal first comes on the screen, and I'm just sitting there in anticipation, like, and then they open their mouth, and I'm like, oh, that's me. That was definitely super crazy, especially because my mom and my dad and my whole family, the whole family came out because they were, of course, duh, the whole family came out, and we were all just like on the edge of our seats, like, there she is. We're waiting, and that was super cool. Like I've done little indie shows and games here and there before, but nothing quite like beats watching your voice come out of an animation.
Mhm.
I've done a lot of like visual novel work, just for like indie games and stuff like that. And seeing your character like speak, and then it's like, wait a minute, that's me. It. It's that definitely was the most exciting part, I would say.
Yeah, and how did you feel about Hal's design when you finally got to see them like all completed and like not just being rendered?
So everything, as far as Hal's design, it was honestly pretty similar to the initial concept. I
Hmm.
don't think it changed very much. Um, but seeing it all completed, especially in that classic Disney style,
Hmm.
which they did some really, really cool stuff with the art this time around, with the watercolor. It was such a beautiful movie. Um, but seeing it fully rendered, I guess, is the word. is was just it was crazy, like seeing everybody kind of come together and hearing those scenes, or those lines that were being read out to me previously by the producers, and now it's like, oh my god, those are voices. Dude, this is like a whole thing that was happening, and it's real. It's just, it was so crazy.
When I mean, it has to kind of be surreal to like know, like if you ever go to a Disney park, like Asha's in the park. So it's like you're like, do I say something or do I just keep walking?
She doesn't know that I'm also in the movie. Like,
It's like you don't know, you don't. It's that meme where it's like they don't know that, and
they
it's
don't know, yeah, and it's like at the party, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. It's like, you and me, we're not so different.
but is that something though, like I mean, now in retrospect, that you can stop and think about that you're like, oh, I'm in this movie that is gonna be represented in theme parks, and the little kids are gonna just sing it all the time.
It's crazy. It's so wild, and like seeing how big it's become, and
Mhm.
especially I was just talking about like going to the store, and I'm like, oh my god, I have a sticker. My mom like found me at Five Below. Like she was like, oh my god, Hal has a little sticker. What the heck? It was crazy. It's I'm sorry. I'm a
Okay.
professional.
It's professional. We just talked about a meme. Sure. But I do have like have I mean, obviously, you are not the cartoon, so there's like the disconnect for especially little kids. But has there been a moment where you saw like a little kid who was just like obsessed with Wish that you were just kind of like, oh, this is so cute. Like, hi. And they're like,
my my baby sister loves Wish. She's 6 years old, and she didn't even realize I was in the movie at first. Like when we went to go see it in theaters, she had no idea. She was just like, "Whoa!" She was so captivated by the whole thing. She was like, she loves the star. She has a little star plushie. And then at the end, my mom was like, "You know that one? Yeah, actually." And she was like, she looks at me like, what? That's you? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And I feel like she's got stars in her eyes now whenever she sees me. Like I'm something of a big deal, I would say.
Caitlyn Jenner, she was like in Wish gear, like, hello. It
Hello, that is I.
is me, star of Wish. Uh for for last question, I do have to ask, now that more people are gonna be able to see Wish that haven't yet seen it, what is for you the most exciting part about like more audiences getting to kind of watch this story and celebrate both Disney and a new princess and kind of everything that Wish is all about?
Definitely all of the Easter eggs, and I feel like now that it's coming to DVD, people will be able to actually stop and pay attention to it. There were so many. I think, wasn't there 100 Easter eggs
I
to
think so,
celebrate the
yeah.
the 100th anniversary? Um, there's no way. I don't think a single person was gonna be able to catch all of that just from the first watch. I've seen it like 5 times, and I'm like, I found 12. So being able to go back and kind of see those little tidbits that were able to get missed, or and also just the fact of the matter that it is the 100th anniversary. That's crazy, like solidifying that legacy and finally bringing it to DVD, and that's just gonna be crazy. I want a DVD. That's wild. That's crazy.
I love it. And yeah, I mean, now you have a chance to find the other 88 Easter
Yeah. Yeah.
putting it on and
I'm trying
finding.
my hardest not to like Google anything. I'm trying to see for myself because Googling is, it's like, where's Waldo? It's
Yeah,
like if I look up where's Waldo, that's not
they'll
fun.
they'll tell you.
That right. That takes away everything. Like definitely I encourage people to like go through and try their best to find everything because it's hard. But
Yeah.
once you know where to look.
I think people are gonna really, really love it when they finally get to see Wish if they haven't yet. But thank you so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rachel. It was such a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Have a great one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.